If you've been successful, you didn't get there on your own. You didn't get there on your own. I'm always struck by people who think, well, it must be because I was just so smart. There are a lot of smart people out there. It must be because I worked harder than everybody else. Let me tell you something. There are a whole bunch of hard-working people out there. If you were successful, somebody along the line gave you some help. There was a great teacher somewhere in your life. Somebody helped to create this unbelievable American system that we have that allowed you to thrive. Somebody invested in roads and bridges. If you got a business, you didn't build that. Somebody else made that happen. The internet didn't get invented on its own. Government research created the internet, so then all the companies could make money off the internet. The point is that when we succeed because of our individual initiative, but also because we do things together. There's some things, just like fighting fires, we don't do on our own. I mean, imagine if everybody had their own fire service. That'd be a hard way to organize fighting fires. So we say to ourselves, ever since the founding of this country, you know what, there's some things we do better together. That's how we funded the GI Bill. That's how we created the middle class. That's how we built the Golden Gate Bridge or the Hoover Dam. That's how we invented the internet. That's how we sent a man to the moon. We rise or fall together as one nation and as one people, and that's the reason I'm running for president, because I still believe in that idea. You're not on your own. We're in this together.
And I realized that communism and fascism, the so-called opposites, are merely variants of collectivism. They're the same thing. And they believe that the group is more important than the individual, for example. The individual must be sacrificed, if necessary, for the greater good of the greater number. They believe that the state should be all-powerful and that the people should obey the state for the greater good of the greater number and all of that sort of thing. They believe that rights are granted by the state. They're not part of the human being. They're not God-given. They're not entrenched in his body and soul. They have to be granted by the state. All of these things, and you look at them one by one, communists and fascists and Nazis and socialists, they all believe that. So wherein lies the conflict, you see? And I began to question that. And I realized that it's partly a trick. In fact, I think it's a huge trick. It's a great scam, because people even today are thinking that they have to choose between the right or the left, not realizing that no matter which way they go, they've accepted basically the same ideology underneath.
I'm not going to say much. I think everybody else far better at this than me. I am just here to support the President of the United States. The President of the United States is, our boss. But he's also, the President and the First Lady are kind of like the mom and the dad of the country. And when your dad says something, you listen. And when you don't, it usually bites you in the ass later on. So I'm here to support the President. Thank you.
We can do better than this.
We can do better than this.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time for our leaders to act.
Demand a plan. Right now.
Right now.
You! Demand it!
they're up there.
Don't you love the people? Not a very lively bunch, though.
Oh, wow. So do you have any live people?
No, only dead ones.
I mean, if we had a lot of live people here, it wouldn't be called The Wild, would it?
The Wild? Whoa, whoa, hold up there a second, Fuzz.
Now this is more like it.
You? Oh, man, where are the people?
We killed them and ate their livers. Gotcha, didn't I? Just kidding, doll. The people are fine. They're on a slow lifeboat to China. Hey, I know you two. Is that...
The movement toward world collectivist government has been going on for quite a while. It's impossible to establish its absolute origin, but it certainly was part of the literature at the turn of the last century. And there were groups and organizations forming in various parts of the world at that time that had that as its goal. One of the most interesting groups was one put together by Cecil Rhodes. It was formed by his will. When he passed away, his vast fortune went to the creation of a secret society, and actually what it was. He said, we've got to keep this a secret society. And all of the Rhodes money went in that direction. It was from that the Council on Foreign Relations sprang in this country. There were similar organizations in other British dependencies. And they all had as their goal the creation of a unified world government based on the model of collectivism. To them, I'm sure they look at it as a wonderful thing. They see it as an end of nationhood as it has been historically defined. They see that as advantageous, they say, because it'll put an end to war and so forth. And they can sell the idea as a great step toward brotherhood and a unified globe and so forth. They use all of these things to make it sound good. But when you start examining the actual policies that they're instituting, it's not so hot. It's based on the principle of collectivism, as I've said several times, and that means it's all-powerful government. It's a tyrannical government. It's the same kind of a system that Adolf Hitler had in mind. And we fought a war to destroy him and his system. The same kind of a system that Joseph Stalin had in mind, and we fought a Cold War and did a lot of other things to make sure that that didn't happen. The same kind of a system that Mao Zedong had in mind, and Benito Mussolini. All of the great collectivists of history have had this unified global government based on the model of collectivism as their goal, and we fought against it until recently. Now we are actually the greatest advocates of it ourselves. We don't call it tyranny. We don't call it fascism or Nazism or communism. We have a better name for it. The name they have chosen is the New World Order.
Skipper! Don't you think we should tell them that the boat's out of gas?
Nah, just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
I like to move it,
Good morning, Mel. This is a moment that we've all been waiting for. You can probably hear the crowd. They're going wild. I'm still trying to actually eyeball President Obama down there. He's making his way down. This is the home stretch. He's already delighted people who've been camped out all night and all morning, stopped and got out about, and spent about 6 minutes waving to well wishes earlier. Now he's got out of his the beast again. He's making making his way all the way down this street. He's already been walking for a couple of 100 metres. I'll get my cameraman Luke to also pan over, and you can see the crowd. They're all holding up their iPhones, their cameras, their iPads, trying to get a snap of this. You know, there's been all this talk about how the second inauguration isn't as exciting and euphoric as the first. That may well be true, but for the people who've been waiting all this time to see their president, this is one moment they're never going to forget. This is, as a lot of them have said, was on their bucket list to see. This is history for them. And you can imagine President Obama will be soaking this moment up. Obviously, he's done it once before, but Michelle last night said at a function, that time round, it was so fast, it was so quick, they missed so much of it, and now they'll be soaking every bit of this up. The crowd is certainly smaller, but the enthusiasm proves they are like rock stars. They're just, as you can see, the crowd is just screaming, and you know, they handle it so well. Of course, we've said already, Michelle Obama just looks amazing, spectacular. Well, a bit of a wave from Sunrise. I think he's saying hi to Raleigh.
Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and
Well,
wave.
the crowd is certainly smaller. The passion proves that America's first black president can still inspire hope for the future. It's very exciting. You can't really beat this.
At you. I have no doubt.
You think so?
That was for you. That was for you and Rani. So, pretty sensational.
I think it was definitely for Rani. He was certainly looking up for Rani because she made herself known last time.
She did. I'm glad, Ange. I'm glad he came past. I'm glad he waved at you. It was worth standing out there in the cold for that. What a sensational reception they are having.
They like to move it, move it. You like to move it, move it. 3, 2, 1.